Good morning to all of you. Am I audible?
Yes, madam, audible.
Okay. So today we will start with the fourth unit, and it comprises of two basic things. That is, what is long-term objective or long-term goals that we need to study, and then after that we need to study the implementation strategy. And we'll try to study the implementation strategy of various with the various tools. First, today we will talk about the structural tool, then we'll go to the cultural tool, and lastly we'll study the tools of different implementation tools which are being used, or you can say that the most appropriate tools which are being used in different companies. So when we study the unit 1, unit 2, unit 3, unit 1 रे हमें basically पढ़िलु what is strategy, what is the strategic management policy, strategic management planning, and strategic management model and decision making that we have already covered. Second unit रे जो हमें when we gone through this strategic management process, ସେଥିରେ ମୁଁ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ପଢିଥିଲି କି the process is being divided into 5 steps. Right? First 3 steps where input of strategy होची, last 3 step रे output of strategy होची. First 3 step कौन थिला? Generation of ideas, तापरे थिला analysis of internal and external environment, and last one थिला आपनकर first 3 step last one थिला what are the different tools that is being implemented. If you see your first 3 units is devoted to this particular process, आपनकर ए process को ही devote करची first 3 unit. First हला आपनकर know about the policy, know about the strategic management, know the role of the strategy managers. So it आपनकर first unit सरगला apart from the model and process. Unit 2 रे आपण पढिले what are the long term vision, goal or goals, vision and mission, objective, how to achieve it with the analysis of internal environment and external environment, that is SWOT analysis. Third unit ray will go through the industry analysis and competitive analysis. It is third chapter ray will cover it already. I think one portion that is left that is called internal environmental analysis, so that gote portion third unit रे छाड़ीची. I will try to cover it in today's evening class. If you got the information, I thought all the classes information we have posted one day before. Yes, information yes, भी one day before देचु that today I will take one more class in the evening period. So that class रे मु तुमको internal environment analysis portion गोटे पढ़ेबी. And I guess I have told you that SWOT matrix mu tamanu kahidebi how to make the SWOT matrix. That I have provided the notes. I don't know how many of you gone through that notes and all. But haba jodi class re time hula, I will tell you that. Right? So first, let me came along with the what are the long-term objectives and goals. Give me 1 minute so I could able to share my screen. And then we will start. So you, one more thing, you all are having one question of that MSc. What is MSc? That is a huge question. Everyone is asking to that question. So remember, MSc is Management Strategic Control. It is the question from Unit 5. Fine. So that you have to written on the Unit 5. It is not Unit 1 question. It is unit 5 question, right? Okay. How many of you have already written this question answer? How many of you have attempted that MSc question? Anyone?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am. Subrat Kumar.
Yes. Yes, Subrat, you have given me one word file, I think, but
Yes,
that is
ma'am.
not. The answer is not actually that answer is about you have to write how to make the management strategic control,
Yes, ma'am.
right?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
that you have to write. I'll ask to sir if you are not, all of you are not being comfortable with the question, then we could able to change it. But that I have to take a permission of Sujit sir, right? So,
Yes,
but this is
I've already written that. Should I change that?
no. If it is written written by you, don't worry. Those who have not written the question, so I would say it is management strategic control. So you have to write on basis of that how to control and what are the strategies to make the control. So that is the question. So fine. Move on to the fourth unit. Fourth unit re jemti mu first କହିଲି, we'll try to study the long term goals of the business environment. Now, what is the long term goals of the business environment? Before going to that, we need to understand what is a goal, what is an objective, fine. So I think in the first, second or third class, we already had a discussion what is a goal or what is objective. Now, what is a goal? Goal is something which has to be freezed, which has to be identified, which has to be finalized way before you prepare any kind of strategy. If you don't prepare your end achievement of a short term end achievement, then you cannot make any strategy to run to successful. So that one has to identify, one has to finalize the goal, which is the end product of a short term span of time. But when it is a long term span of time, what it is called? Pilamani? When it is long term span of time, what it is called? Jemti short term
Long term.
span of time रे जो achieve जो end product ଆମେ decide କରୁଛୁ, that is called goal. ସେମିତି long term span of time ରେ जोटा ଆମେ end product decide କରୁଛୁ, that is called what?
Objective.
No, it is not objective, ma.
Mission.
Mission is the pathway to achieve that.
Target.
It is called vision. It is called vision. It is called vision. Like
Vision.
ଆପଣ ମାନେ ଶୁଣିଥିବେ ପ୍ରଧାନମନ୍ତ୍ରୀଙ୍କର 5 ବର୍ଷୀୟ vision, ପ୍ରଧାନମନ୍ତ୍ରୀଙ୍କ 10 ବର୍ଷୀୟ vision, with 10
Yes,
ବର୍ଷୀୟ vision of 10 years vision of this particular corporation, this particular house. ମୁଁ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ କହିଥିଲି ବି long term vision ରେ ଆମେ ପ୍ରଧାନମନ୍ତ୍ରୀଙ୍କର ଗୋଟେ योजना ବିଷୟରେ ବି କହିଥିଲି, that is called G20. ଆ ପୂର୍ବରୁ G7 ଆସିଥିଲା, G20 is 20 years vision, that is called Vasudeva Kutumbakam. That is also being discussed by us in the class. How the global platform should be came into one persona, so that every particular product which is required, every particular raw materials which is required by the companies, but to grow, by the industries to start, एगुड़ाक आराम रे आपन को available ही जिवो if the G20 strategy is being implemented successfully. So when we're talking about a short term end product, that is has to be decided by the company, that is called goal. Objectives are those steps through which a goal can be achieved, right? Jodi mor gote barsar gote tentative end result or end product identify karuchi, that is called goal, and to achieve that I have to finalize each day's objective. Ajira objective kono, kalira objective kono, pordinor objective kono, so that mo goal ta ko achieve kar paribi. Simply when someone will finalize, the government ho ya to fir big corporate houses, when they are finalizing a vision which is a more than 5 years plan, then they have to achieve it through the mission. through the different kind of successful missions, one has to finalize that or one has to achieve that. Now, what are the long-term goals of a business environment? But a business environment long-term goal kona? So the first long-term goal for the business environment is economic development. Now, even if you prepare a project, आपण म्हणजे त्याला fourth semester रे project prepare करिवे. In that time period, there is a question came from the various experts. जो मैंने experts आंदी, से मैंने बहुत मैंने frequently बहुत frequency सहित गोटे question पचरंती. What I observe, that is, what is the social implication of your project? आपण गोटे project करचंदी, तार social contribution कौन? Fine. So this is what is always required. That is, when you are preparing a organization, so you have to make some contribution towards the economic development. So long-term goal of any business environment, long-term goal of any industries are to give a contribution towards the economic development. The main objective of Indian planning is to achieve a goal of economic development. So achieve economic development is necessary for underdeveloped countries. It is highly essential that the whatever problems are there, like poverty ho, educational deprivations ho, per capita income re bahut adhika the कम रहुची आपनकर per capita income, whatever the issues, whatever the challenges for the developed countries, that has to be taken care of and that has to be reduced. Fine. So that is what the major concern of the economic development while we are talking about business environment. Then came to the next point, that is our next component, that is called increased employment. So any business organization would definitely create employment opportunities for the general public. Okay, give me 1 minute. So how to move this? Anyone knows? Okay, still it is coming. Anyone know? I don't know how, why it is there.
escape करो मैडम, escape करो.
Escape करिबी.
हाँ.
ना.
तो left side corner, left side corner.
नहीं, एटा तो escape कोठी अछि मु जानि छी. But एटा escape रे जाउनी. That is what I'm saying.
ना हबनी मैम, हबनी. से बेल बेल एठी हेछि.
अच्छा, ओके, देन खाओ, चलियो. It's okay.
देखा जाबो चली.
हाँ, देखा जाउची आपण मन को. अरे चलो, ठीक अछि. Then increase employment. So the utilization of manpower or manpower resources is one of the major work of the organizations. So it will give more opportunities to the people to work under different organizations, to learn, to enhance their skills, and that also can create a employability or create a efficiency for the people to purchase product. मन रखथान तो जेते employability बढ़िबो, the rate of employability if increases at a very higher or acceleration rate, then definitely it would help to the environment to run very easily. Consumption ability भी लोगों सही हिसाब रे बढ़िबो. So it is essential to increase the employability. Now came to the third one, that is called self-efficient. Now, what do you understood by self-efficient? You must be heard about a particular concept that was called startup business, entrepreneurship, etc., etc. So, what that mean? That means this is one of the objective of the plan, that the country becomes self-efficient or self-sufficient regarding creating different industries by its own. So maybe that is food industry or grain industry, industrial raw material industry, or maybe like steel industry and etc. जदि आम देश सब प्रकार इंडस्ट्री को एनहांस करिवो सेल्फ एफिशिएंट होबो then definitely we will not making any dependency on different countries on base of technology or import dependency of technology or import dependency of the raw materials, or sometimes we have a import deficiency on the skilly human resources. So ama pakhre sabu rahibo so that the country is being become a self efficient. If you want to make a achieve a long term objective of organization tala apanku self efficient hobagu padibo in terms of providing raw materials, in terms of providing skilly employees or human power, etc. Fine, or investment, you can say that everything. Now came to the fourth point, that is called economic stability. So always remember, economic stability is one particular aspect which is highly required. Now, what do you understood by economic stability? Anyone can explain what you understood by economic stability? Is it reflected with the economic growth? Is it reflected with the economic development? Or is it reflected with the fall down of inflation? Is it reflected with the increase of deflation? Or is it reflected with the very good GDP variations? Economic stability kono, according to you?
Economic stability sustaining the growth.
Sustaining the growth. Okay.
Ma'am, economic means that people have the resource essential of a life, healthy life, you can say.
Resources?
That means establish a healthy life. The people are,
Healthy livelihood.
yes.
Okay. Anyone else?
The resource of essential healthy life, we can say that.
Resources which can help for healthy livelihood.
Yes, essential to a healthy life.
Okay. Anyone else? What is the meaning of economic stability? Remember
financial
please.
access to everyone.
Financial access to everyone. Very good. Now, as for my understanding, economic stability is the combination of economic growth and economic development. Now, what is economic growth and what is economic development? Economic growth and economic development ଭିତରେ ଗୋଟେ thin difference ଅଛି कोन जेमति कि हमें प्रति वर्ष सरकार announce करचंदी our health industry was having a growth or is have a growth of 7.5% in comparison to last year. Our food industry is having a growth of 10% from the last year. So what do you understood by that growth? Growth means more availability of the products. जेमती कि आज के डेट रे after COVID you can see everywhere there are hospitals, small hospitals, private hospitals, large number of hospitals which are being permitted by the government of Odisha, and they were having their own businesses like semane nijero chhot chhot business सबुआडे करूचंती बहुत hospitals. Even in I look to my locality where there is no hospitals Katak re, but ajika date re if you see in my home nearby there are 5 or 6 hospitals. Radiation of 1 kilometer, within a 1 kilometer radiation you can see 5 or 6 hospitals, private hospitals. That is called growth. So definitely we are having a growth in the hospital industry. Even in food you can see there is a large number of restaurants open with a very small distance coverage with the rest. So definitely in the food and hospitality industry we are growing, we are having a growth. Even in education also you can see by yourself around your around your a particular radiation you can see a large number of schools are also being opened. So ame growth achi. Now it is called affordability. So government has given the permission, so these organizations, these institutions has been grown. So this is called growth. I say yes, it is called growth, but it is not economic stability. Economic stability is not came with this. Development through it. Now development or growth through differentiation kono. Development is called affordable accessibility. Growth is called affordability. That means what? How many of the poor people are able to afford to visit that private hospitals and take the facilities of that private hospitals? Maybe 0% of population. बुझी so जो हमें कहूँ कि हमें डेवलप हो जाइए हमर ग्रोथ हो जाइए बट से ग्रोथ को कितने परसेंट लोग एक्सेस करूछंती से स्कूल गुडा नहीं जानतो जो गुडा का प्राइवेट स्कूल where the entry for the class 1 or below that like KG level the entry is something like 70,000 of admission fee or 1 lakh is the admission fee. How many people could able to afford it? So एटा कोन ना हमर ग्रोथ होउची हमें बहुत गुडे इंस्टीट्यूशन बने दोछु बट लोकंकर कंजप्शन एबिलिटी अछि कि से माने एक्सेस करि परुचंती कि the day when everyone will access these facilities we do have a development and do have a economic stability. जे पर्यंत हमर कंजप्शन एबिलिटी न आसीबो हमें कंज्यूम करि परिबानी despite of we do have a large number of school colleges etc educational institution but आम पाखरे पैसा नहीं ताको अवेल करेबाकू ताहले हमर खाली ग्रोथ हिची हमर डेवलपमेंट हेनी. Growth and development when it is goes side by side simultaneously then economic stability will came, otherwise economic stability आसीबनी. मो कथा बुझी परचंती. So आम पाखरे hospital industry growth हिची by 10% from the comparison of the last year. That is highly appreciated. बट कौन हमर जो पॉपुलेशन अछंती से माने से जो 10% ग्रोथ हे जे 10% एक्स्ट्रा इंस्टीट्यूशन से जे हॉस्पिटल इंस्टीट्यूशन हे जे ताको एक्सेस करि परचंती जदी हां देन वी डू हैव अ डेवलपमेंट जदी ना देन वी डू नॉट हैव अ डेवलपमेंट ता माने हमर लोकंकर कंजप्शन एबिलिटी बढ़ुनी एटा कोन बढ़ुची ओनली हम इंस्टीट्यूशन बने दोचो बट द कंजप्शन एबिलिटी रिटेन इन द सेम प्लेस. Got it? So that is called economic stability. Economic stability सबले मन रखते economic stability is the combination of both the things, combination of your economic growth and economic development. So जितले economic growth and economic development are equal हिजिबो you can see the occurrence of inflation. It is controlled. The rate of GDP it has been controlled. So everywhere you could see a economic stability, a good economic system. Then next is you need to identify with the social welfare services. Now what do you understood by social welfare services? As I have told you, when you will present your project which is a finance project, maybe your expert will ask a question, that is what is social implication of your project. So that means what organizations will do, whatever industries are being authorized to do, all has to taken care of the social welfare of the society or give some basic services to the society so that the socio-economic objective has been taken care of. The socio-economic objectives has been successfully implemented. So that is called social welfare. Social welfare कौन आसुची? First आसुची अपन को labor welfare. जोटी कि you have to obey all labor welfare rules, regulation, acts आपको अपन को follow करिया पड़बो. तापरे आसुची for their any priority. I will not use the word of backward classes. I would definitely use a different word that is called priority. जिते आपनकर प्रायोरिटी सेक्टर रो लोक अछंती तांको आपण आइदर एम्प्लॉयबिलिटी देबे या तो फिर एनी काइंड ऑफ वेज बेसिस रो एम्प्लॉयबिलिटी भी हो. सो ट्राई टू गिव देम एम्प्लॉयबिलिटी सो तांकर जो रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ मनी दैट हैज टू बी फुलफिल्ड. Now social development करिवे like educational institution create करिवे, health institution create करिवे, technical education create करिवे. So in that way social welfare and services can be done by the business environment. Then regional development bhi darkar. Regional development means what? The company is situated in let's consider the company is situated in Tamil Nadu. So you have to take care of that particular region where your company is being situated. So it is called regional development. Now, comprehensive development. Comprehensive development means all around development of economy. Whether your company is there in Tamil Nadu, but you have to think about people who are staying in India. So that is called comprehensive development, which is also very much required. And the eighth point is to reduce economic inequality. Now, what do you understood by economic inequality? It is a very popular word. Often we will see this word in paper or in economic times, even in news. We always see the word economic inequality. So what do you understood by an economic inequality? Any idea?
When there are less rich people and there are more people, so wealth distribution is not homogeneous.
Very good. So in India, we have different kind of people. जेमती कि हमें कंजप्शन एबिलिटी रू गोटे जनरल कैटेगराइजेशन कराइछि जेमती कि destitutes, then aspirants, then climber group, then rich class and highly rich class. Now who are destitutes? Destitutes are those people who are priority people, like आपनकर जो माने BPL category आछुंदी semane destitutes whose consumption ability is zero. They are always looking forward for the subsidized product, subsidized plans which is being provided by the government. So तांकर कोनोसी consumption ability नहीं. Second asile aspirants. Aspirants are those people who do have a consumption ability. आपण नहीं नियंतु middle नुए lower financial class. So economic class जो मन को lower से do have a consumption ability, but the consumption ability is very less. तापर asile को माने climber class. Climber class, like we like people are climber class. We are the middle class social people who do have a money to buy a product, but when it is in terms of luxurious product, we will always think about credit terms through which we could able to buy the product. तापर जो दीटा category asile, that was called rich and highly rich class. These two category have only 7% of the total population of India. एमनंग पाखरे प्रचुर मात्रा रे पैसा अछि. They could able to buy anything, any luxurious product by their own. So एठी कोन आम country रे देखो, rich is become richer and poor become poorer. That is called economic inequality. But government cannot make something what Napoleon has done. Napoleon kom करथिले third world war बेले. Third world war which is being initiated by Napoleon. Napoleon kom कले ना निजे country रे जहाँ पाखरे जिते पैसा
Hitler, Second World War.
sorry,
That is Hitler, Second World War.
which one?
And Napoleon in France, that is 1700, 1800, 1700. Second World War. You're talking about Third World War. There is no Third World War, Second World War.
Okay, Napoleon has done economic equality. What he has done, he has because I do not have much information about history, but I do have information about economic equality. So economic equality, which is done by Napoleon, I don't know exactly year and all. So what he has done, he has been identified with the economic equality, where he has gathered all the money of his country and equally distributed amongst the people before the war was started, so that people do not have the deficiency of the food and other elements, and everyone can able to buy the products and keep it for a longer time period by their home to sustain or to survive in this economy, in this war. So that was called economic equality, which is made by Napoleon way back. But nowadays it is not possible for any government or any country to make this kind of brave activities. So that's why it is essential to reduce economic inequality, and that can only be reduced through emphasizing to creating more employability for the people. or to emphasizing to the industrial development, to emphasizing the service environment development, or maybe to emphasizing the environment of the manufacturing sector, so that the economic inequality can be reduced at a certain level. Came to the next one, that was called social justice. Social justice is what? Social justice means what? It is essential part of any organization where you have to promote, or the company or the organization has to promote the social justice acts, rules, regulation to the people, make a awareness of the social justice, so that if there is any kind of problem, issues, challenges came during the work culture, so you could be able to ask for the social justice, even in if the society is being suffer from for any kind of cause because of the industry. So also you could able to go for the social justice. So that is called one of the way to make your environment happy, to make your environment efficient. So the social justice also very much very required point in the long term objective of goal of a environment. And the last one is called increase in living in standard. So very basic thing is, if someone wants to make or give people good standard of living, the best way to give them employability. So when you give them employability, the per capita income increases of the people. It would create a price stability. It would create the consumption power for the individual. Equal distribution also being made through this, so that the standard of living of the individual people increases. So that is called the 10 different factors to which we could able to identify the long term objective. Buchhela? Or any doubt, you can ask me for 1 minute, so that I will go to the strategic implementation. Stop and I will share strategic implementation. Structural implementation. If you have any doubt for this, you can ask me. No doubt?
Ma'am.
Okay. Okay, let me.
Ma'am, there is one request that if university could add more videos, YouTube videos today is Sunday, so that we can go to the
Can't hear. कौन कहलो मैं आउथरे ଟିକେ repeat करो.
Actually ma'am YouTube video ଯାହା ପଡିଥିଲା ଆଗରୁ ଯେତିକି ସେତିକି ହିଁ ଅଛି, କିଛି ନୂଆ videos କିଛି upload ହେଇନି.
That I know. I asked ମୁଁ ପଚାରୁଥିଲି କଣ technical department କୁ ଆମର କଣ technical problem ହେଇଛି, that's why ଏଟା upload ହେଇ ପାରିନି. So ମୁଁ ତାଙ୍କୁ କହିଛି ବି upload କରିବାକୁ. So let's see, because something which is not in my hand, ସେଟା ହେଲା technical department. Technical department I never handle that, because if I handle everything, it is too strenuous for me, because like apan manakra class coordination, sometimes teachers have changed their time. तार बेसिक रीजन है कौन ना धर आपण भी दियंतु आपनकर हठात की गोटे मीटिंग आसी गला, सो आपण कोन सेते बेले कोनोसी काम करि परचन सेमती एवरी जो दो these teachers who are came from other institutions or universities तांकर हठात की कोन काम पड़ी गला, so it is I have to manage the classes timetable for them. So basically ମୁଁ कोन करे ना आपनकर सखाळे जहार प्रॉब्लम अछि मु राती 8 ରୁ 9 टा स्लॉट टा फांका रखछि तो तांको सेही क्लास टा को एडजस्ट करे. So it is up to my hand, because I am having coordinating with them, and mu try करे कि आपण मन गोटे दिन पूर्वरु at least जणी देबी through दीपक. सेमती आपनकर admission हो, your examination, some of the portion of the examination, some of the portion of your valuations, result publication, it is all being coordinated by me. But जदि अपन technical part कथा कहबे, it is not being coordinated by me, because more technology रे I am it was not like I'm zero in technology. I know something about, because ମୁଁ भी मोर PhD thesis टा ମୁଁ कोठी बाहर देई नथली, ମୁଁ निजे पूरा करची. So that little bit technology I am aware about. but जैसे अपन ये जो uploading and videos वगैरह I am very much poor in this technical understanding, बहुत कम मोर understanding. से मु technical department को तो already inform कर देइछि, and I hope they will do. If it is in my hand, then I could able to do something, but because it is not in my hand, so I'll just ask the technical department to do it. But I don't know how much it is being done by today or tomorrow, because kali to chutti thila, aji bhi chutti achi. Let's hope on Monday I will try to talk to them. Fine.
मैम से क्वेश्चन कथा कहउतले आपन जो असाइनमेंट जो क्वेश्चन देथिले
हाँ, से MSc अपन कहउतले तो
हाँ यस मैम यस
MSc is Management of Strategic Control. It is from Unit 5. I try to identify and try to understand the question. Actually, this question is not given by me. If I have given this question, then I could able to know the answer. But question the Aujana teacher so but he was not in that position that to talk, because he shift baharuko. So then I try to find out the MSc ta kono. So kali mu sabu chapter पढ़ी की जानली कि it is called जेहेतु एटा को से elaborate करी नहांती in a proper way, सेति पाई कि आपण माने मो टिके confuse हे गलो. So it is management of strategic control. So अपन को जो questions ता अछि, if the question is having with someone, you could able to read it. मो अपन को कहि दउची संगे संग कोन लिखिबे.
मैम हेलो
हाँ प्लीज कोन question
मैम
अछि.
एक्चुअली मो आपन को मैसेज करतली रिगार्डिंग
हाँ
एमएस
आपण मते message करथिले मु देखिली, but
आज्ञा
that is आपण सेटा overall लिखि दैछथि, किंतु question रे मते लागुची आमे देइछु कि गोटे कंपनी रो स्ट्रेटेजिक कंट्रोल विषय रे लिखिबे.
आज्ञा मु मैम
आपण जोटा
मैम
लिखिचंदी आई एम नॉट सेइंग मार्क मिलिबोनी, मार्क मिलिबो, बट सेटा आउ टिके स्पेसिफिक हे गले भी बेटर होबो. आपण जदी निज हैंडरिटन करी ना हंती तल ताको टिके स्ट्रेटेजिक कंट्रोल पॉइंट ता तदरे नाही एक्चुअली. आपण टिके जदी इंप्लीमेंट करि देबे.
Ma'am, I have taken it as a case study and I have written about the leading shipping company of world. Actually,
I gone through that answer. That's why I'm saying na आपणकर सब माने पॉइंट्स पूरा ठीक अछि, बट स्ट्रेटेजिक कंट्रोल ता आपण लिखि ना हंती, सेति पई कि आपण टिके तार कंट्रोल पोर्शन ता लिखिबे.
okay. Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. So anyone wants to read it, or ame control implementation structure bisare पढिबा.
हाँ मैम अच्छे
मैम क्वेश्चन टा रीड कर दे.
हाँ प्लीज गुटे रीड कर दियंतु, so that I could able to elaborate.
question is
MSc attributes its success to well-crafted strategy anchored in careful strategic management planning. Discuss the extent to which the strategic management process can be assistance to MSc in the future planning process.
Okay. So MSc is called your what are the control attributes upon likhibe. Control attributes for how to control a particular in apan gote काम करिवे एमति नै जिवे. You are taking a company like XYZ company and try to write what are the control or controlling attributes or components that is used by XYZ company. Along with that, you have to write the planning and the process of a company, how to achieve the various end products through the good planning. सेटा आपण जेता मु कंट्रोलिंग पढेबी यूनिट 5 रे तार मु कंपोनेंट्स गुडा आपण को पढे देबी, और एल्स आपण जदी कहिबे तो काली मु आपण को कंट्रोल रो जो पीपीटी टा अछि सेटा आपण को शेयर कर देबी. ता देरे कोन कोन कंपोनेंट्स अछि कंट्रोल रो, दैट यू कुड एबल टू फाइंड आउट. क्वेश्चन एक्चुअली डिवाइड इच 3 डिफरेंट पोर्शन रे. गोटे आपण लिखिबे स्ट्रेटेजिक कंट्रोल कोन, तापर लिखिबे कंपनी तार इम्प्लीमेंटेशन केमती करूची प्लानिंग रो आ प्रोसेस रो. प्लानिंग आ प्रोसेस इज केम फ्रॉम द फर्स्ट यूनिट. तो सेटा आपण कंपनी रो प्लानिंग ता को नै किना फर्स्ट यूनिट रो जो प्लानिंग अछि सेटा को लिखि दे परिबे. द प्लानिंग हाउ इट इज बीइंग स्ट्रेटेजिक प्लानिंग मु देइची नोट्स भी विन. आ तापर आपण स्ट्रेटेजिक प्रोसेस कोन प्रोसेस से मेंटेन करची सेटा भी लिखिबे, जोटा कि ऑलरेडी इट इज देयर इन योर फर्स्ट यूनिट. So this question actually is the combination of unit 1 and unit 5. It is not from unit 1 and unit 2. It is from unit 1 and unit 5. So basically तीनटा जिनस ही लिखिबे गोटे कंपनी रो हला प्लानिंग गोटे लिखिबे कंपनी रो प्रोसेस and you have to write the company's controlling attributes. एबे अपन माने क्लियर अछंती
Ma'am, total company strategy control and company implementation planning and company process also.
हाँ ये तीनटा ही लिखिबे एटा क्वेश्चन एक्चुअली तीनटा डिफरेंट स्टेजेस रे डिवाइड हेची सो आपण लिखिबे प्लानिंग प्रोसेस कंट्रोल
Ma'am, आउ गोटे क्वेश्चन अच्छे मैम
हाँ,
क्वेश्चन पढ़ी पारिबी मैम
हाँ,
prepare SWOT analysis of Amazon construct the SWOT matrix by placing each one of the already identified factors with a graphical presentation of what is good and what is bad in the company and what are the expect on an opportunity or threat.
That is SWOT analysis, madam.
SWOT analysis
Yes,
ଶୁଣନ୍ତୁ ମୁଁ ଗୋଟେ ଟ୍ରାଏ କରୁଛି ଆପଣଙ୍କର ଗ୍ରୁପ ରେ which is my laptop नहीं अच्छा SWOT analysis ର first ଆପଣ ମୋ ପାଖରେ actually ଗୋଟେ Amazon ର ଅଛି case study ଟା how to write this SWOT analysis
मैम एटा भी सही SWOT analysis of Amazon ही अछि मैम
हाँ नहीं ମୋ ପାଖରେ ବି ଅଛି Amazon नहीं ମୋ पाखरे अछि Lifebuoy and ଦି तीनटा कंपनी रे अछि जोतरे SWOT analysis हेची SWOT analysis means what you have to write the analysis of internal environment you have to write the analysis of external environment and then you have to prepare a SWOT matrix of this analysis so how to prepare it give me one more class सोचो मु से पीपीटी टा आपन शेयर करबी जोतरे Amazon तो नहीं let me see गोटे मिनिट let me check गोटे मिनिट मु चेक करछि काहार अछि so that आपन मानको सेटा
मैडम एटी मैट्रिक्स कहले कोन बुझा होछ मैडम
मैट्रिक्स हेले कॉम्बिनेशन आपण नउचंती चारटा जो आपनकर SWOT रो रुंतु मैं एटा टिके शेयर करछि सो दैट आपण जानि परिबे
मैट्रिक्स फॉर्मेट नॉलेज शॉर्ट ता जोगाड़ कर दियो किंतु मैट्रिक्स कहले हाउ टू
वेरी गुड वर्ड
SWOT analysis में बहिरे clearly define हेची.
हां SWOT एनालिसिस सब बहिरे थाई बिकॉज़ एटा आपनकर हाईली इंप्लीमेंटेड फॉर्मेट फॉर द इंडस्ट्रीज एटा आपण देखंतु मु सेही स्लाइड को जाउची जोठी SWOT अछि we go to that एटा पूरा लास्ट को पड़े छे
तळे पटे अछि तळे पटे रहि गेला शॉर्ट
नहीं चारटा खंडे एग्जांपल एठी अछि म एक्चुअली लास्ट ईयर पिलंको पई एटा बनेइथिली
मैम मतलब ये प्रॉपर क्वेश्चन रे कौन लिखा हबा मैम SWOT analysis गुड डिस्क्रिप्शन हबा आ गोटे कहिले इंटरनल एनवायरनमेंट आ गोटे एक्सटर्नल एनवायरनमेंट
हां एटा SWOT एनालिसिस जेतले आपण करूचंती SWOT इज अ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ इंटरनल एंड एक्सटर्नल एनवायरनमेंट तो आपण जेतले कोनोसी कंपनी रो एनालिसिस करूचंती फर्स्ट टू आइडेंटिफाई व्हाट आर द इंटरनल एनवायरनमेंट environmental factors and external environmental factors that first you have to identify आपण जेतले सेटा को आइडेंटिफाई करी पारि सॉरी जीव करिबा then you think about how to make this analysis in a you know आरो गोटे कंपैरिजन केमति करबे जा को मैट्रिक्स कहूची मैट्रिक्स हला कॉम्बिनेशन जेमति कि आपनकर कॉम्बिनेशन हला SWSO TWTO इट हला आपनकर कॉम्बिनेशन तो SW हला कोन strength is combined with SO first हला strength will combine with the opportunities तापरे आसीबो ST strength is combined with the threats तापरे इटा हला external environment एटी देखो इटा हला SWOT analysis एठी तारो SWOT matrix आसिला एटा हला कोन कॉम्बिनेशन ऊपर देखंतु आपनकर लिखा छि इंटरनल एनवायरनमेंट दिस पोर्शन इज कॉल्ड इंटरनल एनवायरनमेंट एटा हला एक्सटर्नल एनवायरनमेंट इंटरनल एनवायरनमेंट रे कोन असला स्ट्रेंथ and weaknesses. Strength is always helpful to the organization and weaknesses are always create a problem for the organization which is hard. External environment is same the O asila which is an opportunity which is helpful to the organization and T stands for threats which are being highly harmful for the organization. Combination kono na apankara jo internal environment strength will make a combination with two combination rahaba. Strength apankara jibo opportunity सहित गोटे combination असबो माने गोटे strength हला internal environmental component ताकू आपण opportunity सहित जोड़िबे जोडी एटा opportunity सहित जोड़ा हला सेठी आपण देखिबे आपनक रिजल्ट सब बेले immensely positive असबो ताकू हमें cash cows भी कहूचु बेले बेले cash cows एटा आ गोटे concept रो cash cows but एटा highly profitable that means आपनक organization रे बहुत strength अछि आपण सेठी देखिबे Amazon रो strength when Amazon strength will achieve or combines with the opportunities of the external environment, how they could able to grab the profit. Seiti apan dekhibe when Amazon strength jetebele outer environment ro threat sangere attached he jauchi then how they could able to make some very problem or face various kind of challenges or issues of the external environment. Fine. सेटा हला आपनकर नेगेटिव दैट मींस एटा हला नेगेटिव एटा हला पॉजिटिव सेमटी वीकनेसेस नहीं जानतो व्हेन अ कंपनी हैव लॉट्स ऑफ वीकनेसेस थर Amazon रो बहुत बड़ वीकनेसेस अछि आ से जाय कि एक्सटर्नल एनवायरनमेंट रो अपॉर्चुनिटी सहित मर्ज होउची फाइन दिस वे मर्ज होउची सो व्हाट इज द issue is the weaknesses जो whatever opportunities are there in the market it can't be turned into profit जेहेतु आपन पारे स्किली एम्प्लॉइज नांती बट मार्केट रे बहुत अपॉर्चुनिटीज अछि बट आपनकर एम्प्लॉइज रा स्किली एम्प्लॉइज रा एब्सेंस जो यू कुड नॉट एबल टू टर्न दैट अपॉर्चुनिटीज इनटू प्रॉफिट सो इटा हला गोटे इश्यू जोटा कि नेगेटिव नाउ the Amazon has identified all his weaknesses and then he has to think about the threats of the environment so say time le kon hoye na organization always looking forward to change his weaknesses to strength तो सेटा आपण केमती करिवे जेमती कि कोटे कांस्टेंट ट्रेनिंग नै जानतो यदि आपण एम्प्लॉइज मन को कांस्टेंट ट्रेनिंग देबे देन दैट वीकनेसेस कैन बी टर्न टू स्ट्रेंथ और आपण कहि नियंतु कि ओबी रा कांसेप्ट ऑटोक्रेटिक कांसेप्ट सो यू हैव टू इंप्लीमेंट पावर आपण पावर देखिबे भाई तू न करछु तते मो ऑफिस रो बाहर कर देबे सो ए केस रे भी लोक तांकर स्किल टाको निजे एनहांस करंती बिकॉज ऑफ द फियर ऑफ थ्रेट ऑफ जॉबलेस हे जिबार जो फियर ता थाए ता द्वारा भी से माने निजो को एफिशिएंट करंती सो दैट ए द थ्रेट टू निजो को बंचै रखिबे then what else was there if you input with some financial resources अपन जति लोक को मोटिवेट करिवे फाइनेंशियल रिसोर्सेस से ताले भी बहुत टाइम रे वीकनेसेस ता लोक माने दिबे निजे ओवरकम करंती सो एटा ला कोन जेतले माइनस एंड माइनस दीटा को नेगेटिव फैक्टर ऐड होची इट विल क्रिएट अ पॉजिटिव एनवायरनमेंट एटा हला SWOT मैट्रिक्स सो ए अपन जति देखिबे गोटे कंपनी रो SWOT analysis एटी देखंतु I have made a SWOT analysis of Toyota एठु आरंभ होईची SWOT analysis of Toyota रा स्ट्रेंथ कोन फर्स्ट लिखा हैला आपण इलाबोरेट करिवे मो पॉइंट्स रे देखैथिली लास्ट टाइम SWOT analysis of Toyota रा वीकनेसेस कोन Toyota रा अपॉर्चुनिटीज कोन Toyota रा थ्रेट्स कोन देन स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ बिग बाजार weaknesses एमती करी आपण भी Amazon रो स्ट्रेंथ weaknesses थ्रेट सब बाहर करला परे तार गोटे कॉम्बिनेशन देखैबे एबे बुझी परले कोन लिखिबार अछि मा संग मित्र ना कोन बुझ परलो
आगे मैम
ओके is there any question or we will forward to the class
मैम आउट के जो MNC जो फिफ्थ क्वेश्चन अछि briefly explain the functional challenges of two MNCs in the international market during and post pandemic period
हाँ
one is to identify two PCN. PCN कहले मैम जो parent country
हाँ
national
हाँ हाँ करेक्ट करेक्ट
ସେଇଟା ତ ଛୋଟଟା ଏଇଟା ବାକି ରହିଲା ବ୍ରିଫଲି ଏକ୍ସପ୍ଲେନ୍ ଯୋଉ 2 MNC ଯେକୌଣସି 2 MNC ନେଇ ହବ ନା ଇଣ୍ଡିଆନ
ଦିଟା
MNC
ଯେକୌଣସି ଆପଣଙ୍କ ହିସାବରେ ଯେକୌଣସି ଦିଟା ଏମଏନସି କୁ ନେଇକି ଆପଣ ଏଇ ଆନ୍ସର ଟା ଲିଖିବେ you have to draw this answer
ଠିକ ଅଛି
okay anything else
मैम ये क्वेश्चन ने एमएनसी रे दीटा कंपनी रो फंक्शन और चैलेंजेस रहबो मैम दीटा कंपनी रो एमएनसी कंपनी रो
ଦେଖନ୍ତୁ ଫଙ୍କସନ୍ସ कंपनी टू कंपनी डिफर कर पारे जदि आपण सिमिलर टाइप रो कंपनी नउचंदी लाइक ऑल आर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कंपनी ताले मे बी फंक्शन भी सिमिलर रहबो जदि आपण नउचंदी गोटे मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कंपनी गोटे सर्विस इंडस्ट्री नउचंदी ताले टिके चेंजेस रही परियो फंक्शंस रे सेटा हाउ टैक्टफुली यू विल हैव टू हैंडल इट इज अप टू यू आपण जदि टैक्टफुली हैंडल करिवे ताले फंक्शन भी गोटे लिखिया पड़िबो चैलेंजेस भी गोटे लिखिया पड़िबो जोटी आपण केवल कंपैरेटिव एनालिसिस टिके करिवे अदरवाइज यदि दीटा अलग अलग सेक्टर रु आपण पूरा कंपनी नउचंती ताहले आपणकर फंक्शंस भी अलग हबो आपणकर चैलेंजेस भी अलग हबो so how you have to write it is up to you आपण सिंगल सिमिलर
Ma'am-
टाइप कंपनी नउचन जदि
मैम दीटा जाक যদি সফটওয়্যার কোম্পানি নেই যাଉଛୁ ତାହେଲେ ତ ସିମିଲାର ଚ୍ୟାଲେଞ୍ଜେସ୍ ସିମିଲାର ଫଙ୍କସନ୍ସ ରହିବ
सिमिलर यस सिमिलर चैलेंजेस रहइबो फंक्शंस भी सिमिलर रहइबो हां आपण ताको टिके निज हिसाब रे लिखिबे को कंपनी देखंतु कंपनी सिमिलर हे परथाय प्रोडक्ट सिमिलर हे परथाय फंक्शंस भी सिमिलर हे परथाय चैलेंजेस और आउटपुट दी जण पई टिके डिफरेंस रहइबो सेटा आपण निज हिसाब रे लिखिबे इधर यू ड्रैग टू सिमिलर कंपनीज or you could able to go along with the two different companies it is up to you आपण जेमती लिखिया को चाहिए that's why it is only written two companies so similar or अलग it is up to you
ଆଉ ମ୍ୟାମ ଯୋଉ PCM କୁହା ହେଇଛି ଖାଲି ନା ଦିଟା ଦରକାର ଆଉ କିଛି ନାହିଁ ତ ସେମିତି
ଆଉ
କୁହା
କିଛି
ହେଇଛି
ଦରକାର ହଁ
थैंक यू मैम
ओके
मैम सेंड करनी ग्रुप रे
कौन कहले
ग्रुप रे सेंड कर देलेनी से जो शॉर्ट एनालिसिस टा
SWOT analysis टा ग्रुप रे कहीं सेंड कर पाइलनी बिकॉज़ सेटा मोर लैपटॉप रे चलची आउ आपनकर WhatsApp टा मोबाइल रे अछि मते 9 टा सीधा डीबीसी रे पहुंचीवर अछि तो मते समय नहीं होबिका मु राती क्लास सेतेले नेबी देन दैट टाइम आई विल सेंड इट
ओके मैम
just give me 1 minute हमें खाली strategy टा आरंभ कर देथिबा implementation टा because it is already 7:56 so implementation टा आरंभ करथिबा तापरे 7 हमर जोटा मेजर पोर्शन सेटा हमें संध्या आलो पढी दबा ओके सो implementation is of various type हमें जतले implementation कथा कहूछु कोनोसी भी strategy रो सेटा SWOT analysis नै जानतो या तो फिर अपन को पोर्टर एनालिसिस नहीं जानते these are all tools you know SWOT is a tool you know porter is a tool so but how to implement that अपन जितले implement करिवे or implementation of strategies of there are two different type of implementation we normally made structural implementation and cultural implementation now what do you understood by structural implementation मुझे यदि अपन को एग्जांपल देबी there are lakhs of n number of examples of structural implementation जेमति कि आपनकर इंडियन इकोनॉमी रे नै जानतु गोटे structural implementation हला that is called the reformation which is being formed in 1991 अपन का economic reformation is structural and financial implementation of a basic tool that is called LPG concept सेतरे आपनकर कोन होची ना कंपनीज रो स्ट्रक्चर चेंज हला जोटी के से माने प्राइवेटाइज्ड होउचंती गवर्नमेंट रो इंटरफेरेंस कमी जाउची आउ गोटे स्ट्रक्चरल चेंज होची कोन ना दे बिकम ग्लोबल यू नो दोस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन हु वांट टू वर्क इन अ ग्लोबल प्लेटफॉर्म सो दे बिकम ग्लोबल कंपनीज एटा स्ट्रक्चरल चेंजेस होची आउ कोन चेंजेस होची ना आपनकर प्राइवेटाइजेशन हे होची सेटा हला आपनकर इकोनॉमिकल स्ट्रक्चरल प्लस इकोनॉमिकल चेंजेस जोठी आपनकर स्टेक रो होल्डिंग गवर्नमेंट रो मोर देन 50% थिला नाउ इट वाज बीइंग रिड्यूस्ड सो सेटा आपनकर कोन होची ना प्राइवेटाइजेशन होची प्राइवेटाइजेशन हले स्ट्रक्चरल रे स्ट्रक्चर रो गोटे मेजर चेंज हला कोन ना जो बोर्ड ऑफ मेंबर्स एंड ऑल can be very much free to implement their own strategies their own ideas their own thoughts within a parameter of government government rules regulation. So this is called LPG concept, liberalization, privatization and globalization concept, jota ki gote sabuto bigger example of the implementation of the strategy in 1991. How kon strategical change upon the jemti bank re CBS system introduction haba, core banking solution introduction haba, the concept of BPR, business process re-engineering. Business process re-engineering di gote structural changes anuchi companies re, company mane nijero structure ku change korchoni, hierarchy change korchoni, matrix system change korchoni. So that is all came under this implementation. Upon jetale konosi strategy implementation koruchonti, setebele companies has to take a step forward to be comfortable how to implement that strategy into work. आपन को बहुत comfortably निजर strategy को implement करिया पड़िबो. And specifically implementation start with the structural implementation. हमें कोचे implementation structure रो start होचे. Now what is exactly this organizational structure, culture and strategy implementation? So while we are seeing our organization, we normally seeing the all organization adopted very conventional management models. Both conventional management models semane follow karanti. Kon paina ita easy thai. Conventional is always easy, traditional is always easy, so they will try to follow the conventional management models while they will view or implement the strategy. But always remember the conventional mode is not always appropriate. So one has to think about the design of the good working environment so that people will enjoy their workplace. If people will came along with a high motivation to work, and they will produce a high output if you have been design a good working environment for them. Then working environment that motivate people to work for a longer time period, to sit at a particular place. If they are not feel comfortable, they are not being motivated to sit. Ability to effectively coordinate the activities of the people working in an organization. So it is most important, as important, the creation of good working environment. One has to prepare a good coordination amongst the people so that the people or the organization worker has been feel comfortable to share their thoughts amongst the group, share their abilities amongst the group, or maybe take some good suggestion amongst the group. So that coordination also being very much required for a good strategy implementation. Jodi apana strategy implementation karuchanti, jemti ki mu kahili, we will first talk about the implementation in the organizational structural way. Ame structure implementation first dekhiba. Structural implementation is being followed by 3 basic points. कौन structural implementation आपण करिवे, गोटे physical change करि परिबे so that design of a working environment is being changed physically. Second कोची working environment has to motivate people, or a working environment try to motivate people to work more. Then last one is called ability of the people to coordinate with each other. Seta be good organization ro kamo to coordinate with each other. Now, when we're talking about what are the organizational and cultural change, what are the organizational and cultural change and how to identify that? If you require an organizational change, remember, it is always believe you find out your organization is gone through some critical, structural issues. Critical and structural issues which has to be achieved. Fine. Then you can see the organizational change. And this organizational change can create a good working environment for any organization. So I will not go to the descriptions. I will directly came to the 7S framework. Now, what is 7S framework? 7S framework is the framework to which the organization is completely changed with 7 different S or 7 different strategies. This organizational affect the environmental stability, also workflow, technology, size and life cycle, and corporate culture. So these required changes and how these changes being made and what are the components to change all this, that we will study at today's 8 to 9 class. So for this we will stop the class for today, and I think your next teacher is waiting for your class.
Ma'am,
So Abhishek kuhନ୍ତୁ।
ma'am, se QMM sir, Mishra sir को ଟିକେ କହିବେ extra class ନେବେ।
ओके ठीक अछि, ମୁଁ କଥା ହେଇଯିବି, ମୁଁ କଥା ହେବି ସାରଙ୍କ ସହିତ, ଯଦି ହେଇପାରିବ ସାରଙ୍କୁ।